a chick I saw her used to. Living off the land is my gift from God. Packing heat with my rifle, all my fishing around. Those red dirt roots take me where I wanna go, to my camel duck blind of that old fishing hole. Nature creeping's the only thing I know, but I can't get there without these red dirt roots. Without these red dirt roots.
What makes Carter Chevrolet different? Well, maybe it's our downtown location, or our state-of-the-art showroom. It could be our friendly four-legged staff. Or it's the fact that we like people. That's why we always say that slogan thing, we're making friends and selling cars, in that order. That's the way our founder, Carter, did it, and that's the way we do it today. So if you want something different, head out to Okarche and visit us at Carter Chevrolet, a business elite dealer right across the street from Ishins. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Lucky Lure Tackle, Oklahoma's premier supplier of quality fishing equipment and tackle. Whether you're a beginning fisherman or a tournament pro, Lucky Lure Tackle has the equipment and expertise to help you catch more fish. Lucky Lure's knowledgeable and friendly staff can help you find the equipment you need with aisles and aisles of quality fishing equipment and tackle, all at great prices. They can even respool your reels and recycle your old fishing line. Lucky Lure Tackle, the corner of Britton and May in Oklahoma City, or check them out on the web at lltackle.com.
If you're looking for great service, a knowledgeable staff, and great prices, Village Tactical is the place to go. You can shop in their store on North May or go online to villagetactical.com. No matter what your firearm, accessory, or reloading needs are, Clay and his knowledgeable staff can help you find what you need. Be sure and follow him on Facebook and watch for a great deal.
And the last hunt of 2014 is one of those hunts that you'll never forget. It's one of those that even months later is still leaving us thinking, man, what just happened? We still haven't grasped the magnitude of what went on that day. What an amazing hunt that we had. And it's kind of one of those hunts that'll leave you thinking, man, am I in the Twilight Zone? All right. It's getting late in the season, the rifle season. There's 2 days left. Spent a lot of hours out walking around. Spent a lot of hours in the stand too, just sitting. But it's been a weird weather pattern here in Oklahoma this part of the season. This morning we had a lot of fog a couple weeks ago as well. It was cooler, raining, fog, and everything you could think of. And now it's sunny and 45, 50 degrees, and you'd think the deer would be out playing, but they're nowhere to be found. So it's about 4:15 right now, and I've seen a couple doe so far, but we're gonna hunker down. We're gonna be here for another couple days and hopefully finish this rifle season out. But it's a weird situation. You think the deer would move. You know, it's like this thing's not easy or something. This hunting stuff is not simple. So we're gonna hunker down and hope for the best and hang out and see what happens. So the first morning of a 3-day hunt, I was sitting in the stand by myself. A bunch of does started to pile into the fields, and I was able to watch them for a couple of hours. On this particular property, we had a bunch of photos of some great bucks. It being peak rut in the state of Oklahoma, I was extremely hopeful that this would be a sign that those big bucks might follow these hot does. The first morning and evening hunt of that weekend, I was by myself. Later on that night, pro staffer Keenan and my brother-in-law Travis were going to join me, and we were going to hunt the rest of the weekend, and this would end our rifle season 2014. As if the end of this hunt wasn't firsts enough, That evening while in the stand, I saw something that I had never seen while hunting whitetail in the state of Oklahoma. I've had friends mention it, but I've never seen it in person. That's right, the deer on this property, they don't wait for the dinner bell to ring. They go get it themselves. This buck entertained me for a few minutes, and then the sun went down, and it was time to call it a day. So there were 2 days left in the rifle season in 2014 in the state of Oklahoma, and we decided to go up with a couple guys, a buddy of mine Keenan, and then my brother-in-law Travis. We all went up to our property in northwest Oklahoma to finish up the season. We didn't know what was in store for us. We had no clue. It ended up being one of those days that you'll just never forget. So the first morning of the hunt, we decided to split up into 2 stands. Myself and Travis were in one stand, and then Keenan was by himself in the other stand. And funny enough, Keenan had never filmed before. It would be his first time, so I handed him my smaller camera and said, "Brother, you know, you're on the hook. Just figure it out on the fly." And we had no clue that what was going to happen actually happened. So it was one of those things that the poor guy, you know, he was bumbling and stumbling, but he at least was able to get the camera set and at least get the shot on film, which is pretty cool. So at about 9:30 that morning, Travis is sitting beside me, and he's binoing, and he's like, "Hey man, big buck, big buck, big buck." And he points to the west. So we're looking off to the west, and I see 2 bucks. I see a large buck, and then I see a smaller 8 chasing that large buck. And they were headed kind of towards where Keenan's stand was, which is about 500 yards away. And that posed a problem because Travis got his rifle out, and in the scope, he was not able to shoot that distance. But the good news was the deer was headed, both of them were headed towards Keenan. So what we did is we just decided to go ahead and text Keenan and tell him that there were 2 big bucks headed his way. One of them was a shooter, one of them was not, and to have at him if they ended up showing up. In walked a buck that we had never seen before on this property. This was a hard buck to judge because, judging by simply the rack, boy, he looked old enough. But if you actually look at the body, he looks young, almost like a doe. Keenan steadied the camera as quick as he could and turned his attention to getting this buck in his crosshairs.
On the table, it's what I do. Stocking game like a Chickasaw hunter used to. Living nothing less from God. Packing heat with my rifle.
Well, next thing we know, a couple seconds went by actually, and then we heard a gunshot. We heard the boom, and we knew then that there was a BBD, but we had no clue what was in store for us.
Whew. Okay. I just took a shot on Big Buck. It's a nice buck. It's a big buck. Real tall. I saw it hit the deck. I tried to move the camera at the same time. He's down. He's down. He fell in the high grass. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes and we're gonna go down and see what we got. All right. Whew. Big buck down. Awesome.
Packing heat with my rifle. All my fishing around. Those red dirt rivers take me where I wanna go. To my camo duck blind of that old fishing hole. Nature creeping's the only thing I know, but I can't get there without those red dirt roots. Well, sundown means my day is almost over.
Travis and I are sitting in one stand, and Keenan's sitting in a stand about 500 yards up the way, and Travis and I spotted a huge buck. 2 of them actually, one real big one and one young 8. And the huge buck, they were just running all over the place. I mean, sprinting, running. And we lost it for a minute, and we didn't know where it had gone. And so we texted Keenan and told him that there was a good buck in the area. And next thing we know, we heard a rifle shot. So we're waiting right now for pictures. confirmation of the BBD, but there's a BBD. This thing was a big old buck, so can't wait to get it on film.
Okay. Just got down from the stand. We're gonna walk towards the deer. I still can't catch my breath. This is awesome.
After Keenan took the shot, he texted us to make sure it was safe to get down from the stand, and he did. Once he started heading towards that deer, this is when the craziness and fun all started to happen.
We'll be right back to check out this buck. We're going to visit Clay of Village Tactical to discuss one of the biggest problems people have when shooting a firearm. One of the biggest problems with people shooting a gun is jerking the trigger. So we're going to let you tell us a little bit about what you can do to help fix that.
Well, obviously your gun's got to be bore-sighted and sighted in, shot in. But the biggest mistake, you're right, is people flinching or not following through on the trigger. So to fix that, go home. Well, that's crazy, Clay. Go home, get some snap caps.
So, hey, Clay, tell us what a snap cap is.
It's simply a metal object shaped like a round, sized just like a round. And the good ones will have a little piece of rubber in there in case you're worried about damaging your firing pin, so you can snap the trigger, if you will, all day long without abusing your gun. Great dry fire practice, but you have to practice correctly. Perfect practice makes perfect. So when you get to the house, clear your gun. Okay, don't go Miami Vice on me and shoot your television. Load it up with a dummy round, and then make sure you're not aiming at anything, and you're going to pull the trigger correctly. You'll hear a lot of guys say squeeze the trigger. Really, you want to press the trigger straight back, and kind of like Einstein, you want to do the same thing the same way every time correctly. And with one of these, you can do it without damaging your gun. So practice dry firing, as we call it. Pull through the trigger. Okay, and you'll see a lot of guys out in the field, they'll take their finger right off the trigger. Don't do that. Leave it on there. It's called follow through. Okay, click, and it won't actually go boom, but click. Okay, and then just wait a second. Breathing is another aspect, as we were talking about earlier. You want to pull the trigger about halfway through your exhale. Okay, control your breathing.
And one thing for you muzzleloader guys, you want to make sure you're following through anyway, because you never know when you get a delayed fire. So just because you pull the trigger and nothing happened immediately, a second later that gun may go off. So you don't quit. It's just a great habit to become or to get into, where you just always continue on that target.
And leading into that, after that, if you will, don't raise your head up to go look at Bambi. Okay, leave your cheek on the rifle, okay, and follow through all the way with your shot. You'll see a lot of guys jerk their head up, and now you've pulled the gun because they're actually pulling their head up right when they pull the trigger, and it's causing their shot to miss.
All right, well, that's great advice. If you need help, be sure and come into Village Tactical, see Clay or the guys. Also, hey, Christmas is coming up, so come in, and I'm sure they can help you with a wish list to show your wife. So we appreciate it.
Thanks, Barry.
What makes Carter Chevrolet different? Well, maybe it's our downtown location or our state-of-the-art showroom. It could be our friendly four-legged staff. Or it's the fact that we like people. That's why we always say that slogan thing, we're making friends and selling cars, in that order. That's the way our founder, Carter, did it, and that's the way we do it today. So if you want something different, head out to Okarche and visit us at Carter Chevrolet, a business elite dealer right across the street from Ishins. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Oh, get me further. Oh, there he is. Oh, amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, he's beautiful. What the? Looks like he has velvet. He does. That is the strangest thing. It's velvet. Folks, I've never seen anything like this. He's got velvet. He's broken off. I'm confused. He was tall, but he's got velvet. It's December, guys. What is going on? I don't know. What is it? I don't get the velvet. Alright, man, look at this. Looks like it's damaged. But it looks like he just broke this off after he was shot. The rest of it. Something's wrong with it. I don't know what it is. But that is the strangest thing. Got a little mud on it, but it's like he just broke this off when he got shot. I gotta find out what's going on. That is what's going on.
Hello? Yeah? What'd you do? Oh.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not worried. What? Full velvet?
That would be why he's so thick.
Yeah, that's
No.
That's
you shot
weird.
something amazing.
That's weird.
Unfortunately, after Keenan called, his cell phone died, so he was on the flat land with no way to communicate with us at all. And wouldn't you know it, a group of doe started to come in, and we needed doe population control on this property. Travis quickly tried to get one in his sights before they saw or winded Keenan. Unfortunately this time, it wasn't Keenan, but the ammunition that got us, as Travis proceeded to pull the trigger twice and get 2 clicks.
The backwards one we both Better hurry. No, they're coming to us, dude. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, they're together. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, after the second click, they winded Keenan, and they ran off in the opposite direction.
Alright, we're back at the deer. And I walked around and followed its blood trail because I could tell its beam had broken off, and here it is. That is just the strangest thing. Again, it just feels so pliable. But when he got hit, I could tell he just drove himself into the ground and was running, so he busted this off. But he looks like he's had an injury before. But guys, again, this is just strange. This is December in Oklahoma. It just looked really white from the stand.
Alright, so we finally were able to go and get down real quick and go check out Keenan's buck. And really cool story. So we saw this really thick buck in the binos, and I mean, it was thick, one of the thickest ones we've seen. And it ran towards Keenan, and Keenan took the shot and got it. And once it's on the ground, it hit, or after he shot it, it hit the ground, and its antler broke. And Keenan walked up on it, and he said, he called us and said, guys, you're not going to believe this, it's in full velvet. You know, here it is, December, first week in December, and the thing still has velvet on it. And it's one of those bucks that actually doesn't have any testicles. And by not having the testicles, it doesn't shed its antlers at all. It keeps its antlers and stays in velvet all year round. So great management buck, because that buck was suffering. They suffer because they can't fight. They don't have the hormones the other ones have. So it's a great management buck. But this buck actually is a big buck, one that, you know, if the horns will stay together, will look great on the wall. So very proud of him. It was a great shot. He had to spend some time looking for the piece of the antler that was broke off after he took the shot. And we're going to go ahead and wrap things up right here for the morning hunt, and we're going to grab our stuff and go down there and meet Keenan to check the buck out.
What is this thing?
Hey.
Hey, what'd you just do?
I don't know.
It's a velvet buck in December in Oklahoma.
Velvet buck in December, right? And
Yeah.
now Travis, we were on it, and when we heard the shot, Travis and I were high-fiving each other, and Travis goes, "It's like we just shot it."
But this one, the way it was moving around,
Someone right
it was
about it.
tall.
Someone right.
Someone right.
Well, they were running. I mean, they were on a dead sprint to you. Both of them were just
Yeah.
doo. I mean, they took off.
I didn't see the other one, but that one just, there just wasn't something right about it. And it was tall, but what I'm seeing in height was a lot more velvet. But walking up on that, wow.
Okay, so now here's what we're gonna do. Let me take that off. So we're gonna go pick this thing up, and y'all can come with us. Okay, so let's head that way.
Can't touch him, you know. Don't. You gotta be careful.
Very.
Very brittle. Yeah.
After he hit the ground, he broke that off. I went and looked for it. And you could just, in the blood trail,
Oh my
there
gosh,
it is.
That is so brittle. That is so brittle.
And it's got full blood through it. Perfect shot.
It's soft. Yeah, it's bending.
Look at the eyelashes.
Yeah.
Looks like a doe.
Well, there's a couple ways that this can happen. I mean, number one, what we think, we're thinking that this is a testicular problem, and if that's the case, then they can get injured. They can be fighting and get injured. This is such a young-looking buck that this may be a birth defect or a genetic situation from birth. So I don't know that I've ever heard of one with the testicular problem and with some female attributes. And just looking at the overall body here, this is a buck in a doe's body, so to speak. It's very, very cool, very interesting. Yeah, well, when we saw this guy, look at how this is bent. When we saw this guy, he was running from another buck, and now it explains it. That other buck had torn him apart. If they get into a fight, there's vascular supply here right now, so if they get into a fight, it's not like bone. It hurts. It'll hurt them. And they can bleed out. So he was running from that other buck, most likely. I guess he and the other buck were probably fighting. Great rack. It's either a young doe or an old buck. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
When he was hitting the ground and digging.
And broke the antler off. That's
It looked like when he got hit.
Oh my gosh!
Feel how soft this is.
That's wicked. So the webbing, it's skin.
It is skin. This is December, Oklahoma. But right after he got hit, he basically was just digging in the ground, trying to get his head up. He went about 10 yards. That broke off.
Hey, we're great. We're thankful to have him, and him or her, I don't call it. It's a something. It's either a he with her or it's a her with a rack. I don't know.
We'll find out.
I don't know which one it is, but we're gonna put your tag on it, man, and get it all cleaned up. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It was a good hunt.
Well,
had a blast with the recovery of this animal. We had an awesome time hunting it, and to be honest with you, from that point on, it was one of those things where we still hunted. We hunted for another day and a half, and we hoped something would come out, but we didn't care. We knew we'd had an experience that was just a once-in-a-lifetime situation, and one that was very, very rare, and especially one that was rare to catch on film, and we're blessed to have been able to do that day. We're blessed that Keenan was at least calm enough to get the camera out, because I know a lot of
first time filmers probably would have said, forget this, I'm just going to pull the gun up and shoot.
All right, so we finished cleaning up from the morning.
Great shot.
We still don't know what's going on there. We're still trying to wrap our brain around what happened this morning or what the thing is with that deer. We're pretty sure it just, unfortunately, as far as its male genetics, its testicles go, it just didn't have any. So unfortunately, it just stays in velvet all year round, and made it a cool kill, made it a great kill. But anyway, so we're sitting up in the stand, getting ready for the evening, afternoon hunt and about it. But let me tell you something. This is Saturday, December. What is the date? 6th?
6th.
In the state of Oklahoma, this is called Bedlam Day. And although, see, the thing is, most people have to choose between hunting and bedlam. Now, the great thing here with this situation is we don't have to choose. Why? Because we have a sling box. And with that sling box, we can do both. We got deer out there. We got football right here.
Where the deer at?
Hey, you know what? That buck you killed earlier, it's not bad for a buck in velvet in December.
Well, I'm just trying to manage this property the best I can. Just trying to help
Best
you
you can, that's right. Best you can. Yep, that's right.
I went ahead and just tagged out to help you guys out. Call in the professionals.
It's like we drove that deer this morning. We drove him.
You did.
We drove him.
I shot him with my left hand. I'm right-handed. And,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
No left. From the hip.
From the hip.
Cut it on film.
Now, this was a neat experience because none of us had really heard of a buck in velvet in December. We had no clue what was going on. So the great experience was the three of us got together and really were able to do some research to figure out what was going on with this buck. The first thing that we really noticed was that it didn't have any testicles. So we started to research how this happens, and is this the reason that he still has velvet on him in December in the state of Oklahoma? And it was a lot of fun to really get to discover and learn, and it's just a great time and out there learning with your friends. You know, this hunt just defines what hunting is all about. Time in the stand, out in God's country, new amazing experiences, getting to learn together, getting to see new things, getting to do new things. Awesome. Always amazing to get out in the woods. Always amazing to hunt with friends. Y'all, thanks for joining us.
Would like to thank our sponsors, Carter Chevrolet, Lucky Lure Tackle, Village Tactical, Art Jolson Construction, and Caney River Calls. Let's raise some cane.